What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Before we get into Chris's interview, here's his deck list that he used to get top 8 at Colorado State. It is a Donphan Halucha deck, no walls this time, as we saw in Andy's video. He does play the walls, but this one he doesn't. No ground on either, just straight Donphan Halucha Robo Sub. The deck is pretty straightforward. Some cool things he played in here is Silent Lab, which he goes over in his interview some while he plays the one Silent Lab. Teammates, of course, which just seems really broken to Donphan right now. He does play a heavier tool count with 3 Muscle Man, 2 Silver Bringle, but that's because he has the space to do that. Plays Trump cards so he can get back all his substitutes and everything. The only switch card he plays is Escape Rope. That's okay because, well, he goes over the interview. I don't want to ruin anything. Besides that, the deck is pretty straightforward. It's very consistent, very good, and hopefully you enjoyed the interview. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're doing another state's question to answer with
Chris Abernathy.
Hey, where are you from?
I'm from Colorado.
So I'm assuming you played in Colorado last weekend?
Yes, I did. Yep.
And how'd you do in the tournament?
I went 5-0-2, made top 8, and I ended up losing in top 8.
Okay, so you had 2 ties. Was one of them like an ID at the last round, or did you tie like 2 overall?
One of them was an ID to my friend Daniel Lozada, who ended up making second, and the other one was like an actual tie. We were shuffling up for game 3, and time was called.
And what deck was that you played against?
I played against Evital that round.
Okay. And was it just because he played Toad or anything, or was it just like you didn't have anything
He actually didn't play Toad. It was very... We were just kind of slow playing. We were both playing really slowly. I ended up ripping like 3 sleeves during that round. So I guess that kind of contributed to it a little bit. And
sure. It
was just kind of like, it's a very slow matchup when it comes down to it, especially for me. Because like I can only hit for like 10, 20, 40 max on baby Evitals.
Yeah. Did he play like hard charms or anything to make it harder, or nah?
He played 1 hard charm. And I think he played, it's all I saw was just 1 random hard charm. I think I saw like 2 muscle bands. It was cool, but it was weird.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Alright, so what did you play against the top 8?
Top 8 I played against this Side-Toad Manectric Mewtwo. I went into that round with a game loss because of my deck list, actually.
Oh, do you want to talk about what happened in your deck list?
I wrote it down as 2 Fighting Stadium, 2 Silent Lab, and I played the entire day with 3 Fighting Stadium, 1 Silent Lab.
Uh-huh.
And they thought it gave me an advantage, so they gave me a game loss for that. I went into game 2. I steamrolled him game 2, and then game 3 it came down to he had to top deck a DCE to retreat to a Mewtwo for game, and he top decked it. So.
Always.
Yeah.
That's Pokemon for you. Alright, so we see your list.
No kidding. No kidding.
So in your list you played a 4-4 Donphan, a 4 Halucha. Did you want any other Pokemon besides that, or is that all you wanted?
Not really. I think my last round, if I were to play like maybe a Sigilyph, it would have helped just so I can switch into it. But I don't think it was really needed at all.
Okay. Now, have you? Because you know Missouri won the one with Groudon Tech in it. Did you ever test that at all, or no?
No, actually, I did not test it. As soon as I saw it on stream, I was watching it at top. I think it was either Missouri or Texas. I was watching it on top, and it seemed pretty well, but. I was just testing it straight with just 4 Halucha, 4-4 Donphan.
Okay. So, you talked about your deck list, how you played a 3 Fighting Stadium, 1 Silent Lab. Did you mean to play a 2-2 split, or did you want to play a 3-1?
I wanted to play a 3-1. It was something I was kind of... that was something in testing I was kind of unsure about, but I went with a 3-1 in my deck, but in the list I went with 2-2. It was something I was very kind of back and forth on. But I think the 3-1 ultimately was the better choice.
So, overall, how good was Silent Lab?
Silent Lab, it didn't really do anything, actually. The only reason it was decent for me is it was just a stadium I could wreck. But other than that, it didn't do anything.
So, would you actually bump up the Fighting Stadium to 4 instead of the 1 Silent Lab?
I might. I actually will probably test that. That probably would be good, doing it up to 4 instead. The only reason why I played the Silent Lab was just for like random Virizion, Genesect Red Signals, or like shutting off Well, I guess there's really not. Well, shutting off your own Halucha for Manectric kills, which is
Oh
kind of
yeah,
cool.
that'd be really nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think VG's probably dead now, as we saw
yeah.
from
I think
stats.
it might be back due because of how much Toad there's been though. But
Eh, even then,
yeah,
I don't know. It's a weird matchup either way.
yeah.
Okay, so you only played one escape rope. Did you ever want like another switch or anything?
Not really. There was a couple times where like I could have gotten out a laser, but the best way, like if they Lysander up a Donphan, it's just a spinning turn out of it usually,
Mhm.
unless I stay asleep. But other than that, it didn't really hurt all that much.
Okay. Now you talked about wreck some, but you only played two DC. How many times did you think you wrecked in the tournament overall?
I actually wrecked pretty often. I was able to either teammate for the DCs or just computer search, create for a computer search for them a lot of the time.
Hmm.
I played against my friend Jerry on stream when we were streaming Colorado States, and that's how I swept game two was just wrecking. I wrecked a Toad and then I wrecked his Manectric.
Okay, that's
That's,
really nice.
it was pretty crazy.
Alright, so you only played the one teammates. Did you ever want more than one? Like maybe two instead?
I found that maybe two would be nice, but at the same time, it's so situational to the point where you can always use just VS Seeker for it if you need it.
That's true.
And a lot of times, like there was one game I was playing as Flareon round five, and I teammated 6 times in that match. So I was just like, oh, grab VS Seeker with teammates. Just kept going. It was nuts.
Oh yeah, true. Alright, so how good overall was Trump Card then?
I There was one point in round one where I thought I needed trump card, but it was
Mhm.
prized. So I felt like it didn't even really matter.
Okay, true. So if you were to change the deck up some, would you change any of the cards?
That's what I've been trying to think. Like right now, I feel like the list is solid, but if I were to change anything, I'd maybe try testing taking out trump card, maybe
Yeah,
just to
sure.
kind of see how it runs. But other than that, I felt like the list was pretty solid overall.
Okay, so how many championship points are you at right now?
After that, I'm at 150, so I'm about
150?
halfway.
And are you going to go to any more
Mhm.
states or anything?
I think I'm going to go to Utah next weekend. I might go to New Mexico after, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So, did you play any other big tournaments besides this one states?
I went to Arizona regionals back in October.
Hmm.
I ended up making top 32 there with Seismitoad Pyroar.
Okay.
And then I ended up whiffing top 8, losing last round to Serena.
Ah, Serena. She's a beast.
She's so good.
Yeah, she is.
She was playing Yveltal, I was playing Virizion Genesect with like heavy Raichu. And I was just not able to draw into Raichus in those games.
All right. Well, so I mean, it seems like you did pretty good. Was that the only regionals you've been to this year?
Yeah, work my work schedule before was just not letting me go to anything else. So,
I
but
understand.
now I'm kind of some free time.
Well, I mean, you seem doing pretty good. Went to one regionals, almost top eight of states you went to. So, I don't know. Maybe the 300 points just seem pretty easy to get.
Yeah, I mean, I also went to a cities. I went to one cities this year, and I ended up winning it with Wobblebats. So it was kind of
So
nice.
you only went to one cities?
Yeah,
Oh,
I know, right?
I'll just go to one. I'll just get 50 points. Who really needs
Why
200?
not?
All right.
Why not?
Yeah, true that. So if you played next weekend, are you still gonna play Donphan Hanalucha, or just like maybe is there another deck that's like piquing your interest right now?
It's my main. It's my number one option right now.
Hmm.
I want to try to get something like. I've been reading about how people have been doing well with like Greninja Archie's kind of stuff, so I kind of want to try that a little bit, kind of test it, see if it's good. But if I don't find anything else that's like super amazing, I'll probably just play Donphan again.
So who's been playing Greninja's Archie? I haven't heard about that one yet.
I heard about someone who almost made top 8 with it in Missouri.
Ah,
I was
don't give him credit. He sucks.
all right, fair enough.
No,
All
I'm
right.
just playing. I didn't know. I know it's a guy named David Coates. He's from my area. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I didn't know if anybody else was playing it. You made it sound like more people were playing it, and I was like, is this really a thing?
That's the only thing I heard about. But I think the combo is super underrated.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Hey, he's really good at Pokemon. So I don't know. It's really weird. Well,
yeah.
do you want to talk about your list or your regionals anymore?
What's that?
Do you want to talk any more about your regionals experience or anything?
Sure. I just played like a standard Seismitoad Pyroar. One thing I was really debating on the night before because I sat next to Jay Hornung
Hmm.
when he was staying at Jeremy's house, and he was showing me the Jinx plays that he was playing with his Seismitoad Pyroar, and I really really liked it. And I was thinking about playing it, but I decided last minute not to because his was more Seismitoad build, mine was more Pyroar. I
Hmm.
had like the 4-4 Pyroar versus his 3-3. So I just kind of went with the standard build. I ended up going, I think it was 5-2. I don't remember how many rounds
Yeah, true.
that ended up happening. Ended up making 18th out of top 32, and then ended up playing Verizian Genesect with like a 3-3 or a 4-3 Raichu just to counter all the Evital, and I ended up losing to Evital, so that's how that goes.
Now, do you think Power is like dead overall right now?
It's one of those cards that will always be in the back of my mind. It's just like, okay, is the format good for it? Like, is there anything that it really loses to? Right now, I think Lando Bats is big for it if they can get their bats out. Anything with Garb is kind of tricky.
Hmm.
Just kind of depends. I think with Score Shirt, it could be really good now just because it has that synergy with Blacksmiths and all that other kind of stuff. Um, but it's always on the back of my mind. But it's just you gotta wait for the right format to play it. You know.
Yeah, true that. So you talked about VG some. Do you think that deck will? I mean, you said that Sidestone did really good week 1. Do you think it will rise in week 2 or no?
I think that's what people are thinking right now. That it's going to be like, oh, Seismitoad was popular. Why not play Verizian to counter it?
Hmm.
I think it will see some rise week 2. I think Flareon's a really good play week 2 as well, just because it didn't really do all that well week 1. I mean, it did do well in some places, but I think
Overall.
if Verizian does get more hype, obviously Flareon will take care of that. And then as well as it's just a solid deck overall. My friend Daniel again made second with it at that tournament, losing to Night March,
Mm.
which is not a it's a pretty bad matchup overall. But
Yeah.
I think Flareon is a really good play week 2, especially if Verizian's on the rise,
Okay.
which it might be.
Yeah, sure. I understand that. Well, do you want to talk about anything else?
I got nothing else. If you got any other questions for me,
I can't think of it right now. You want to give any shout outs to anybody or anything?
I'll give it some shout outs. Yeah, brother Kevin, he's my main testing partner. We always bounce ideas back and forth. My friend Daniel Lozada, Brandon Jones, and Carl Kitchen from Utah. I always got to give shout outs to them because Brandon Jones was actually the one who gave me the list for Donphan.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was crazy at first for sending this, but then I started testing him. I'm like, dude, this is actually amazing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, the 4 Lucha and 4 Donphan is just so good.
it really is. Like, I was showing people to it in Colorado all week in the weekend, and they're just like, what? 4 Halucha? Are you kidding me? But it's amazing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think.
That's it. No more
Yeah,
shout outs?
that's
Okay.
it.
Well, thanks for doing this, and congrats once again for making top 8.
Thanks, I appreciate it, man.
All right, take care.
You too, buddy.
All right.